when we put this member in, the thing you have to be careful is, now, you can make this member almost as tall as you want, but the taller you make it, you're going to change the dynamics of the kite. But it does make it pretty when you put it tall, but the taller you make it, what you do, you change the dynamics of the kite. The taller you make it, what's going to happen is, the taller it gets, the kite changes, and so instead of the kite flying and holding its position, the kite will take a high position, and then it will turn and start to come back down, and that's what we call a diving bell. Now, if you want the kite to dive, you can do that. And if you want the kite to just sit, where once it gets to its altitude, it'll just sit there and it won't do anything that much. You can shorten the member to about there, or you can put the member to about there, right? So I'll give it a little bit of a dive, and it may not dive as much, but I'm going to give it a little bit of dive, just to give it some look. So we're going to now attach this member to our center dowel first. So we need a piece of string to do that. Now, there are some other things you can use other than string nowadays, because you can use strapping tape, which is quite easy to use, and you won't need as much because strapping tape has a lot of strength in it, and once you put it on, it'll stay pretty firm. And it may even be easier to work with than the string, because the string is the old-fashioned way we used to do this, eh? We use the string, and so I have it centered, and then I'm going to feed this around so that it locks in place. And this is to prevent the dowel from moving, because we don't want the stick to move up and down. We want it to stay in one place, and so we feed this through a couple of times. And when we think we have it secure, we will tie it off. That's a few more times, and that should do. We're going to tie this off. And what you can also do, you can use the Elmer's glue, the white glue, as well, to hold these things in place. You just put a dab of glue on the frame where all the frame members come together, and that holds it in place. Okay? So that is in place. Now we're going to center. Okay, I'm getting caught in my button here. Let me double check it. Because if it's not centered, the kite is going to list to one side. It's going to lean to one side. So now we're going to tie this off. And you'll see what this does when you add this. Gives it a little bit of flair as well, and it gives you the opportunity to add more what we call hummus. So I'm going to tie this off here, and I'm going to do the same thing I did in the middle. This is where you get to really use your hands. It's unlike any video game, and it does teach you some basic geometry. You learn aerodynamics, believe it or not, doing this, even though you may not fully comprehend it. And so I'm going to continue to feed that through, and we're going to continue to secure that, and that should be the last one, and we tie it off. One more tie. Okay, and that is basically secured. Now to add our string that we're gonna, this is how we're gonna put the hammer onto it. Just going to tie this here, right at the cross member. And we feed it through. Now we need to put a notch in the top. Okay. Just a couple of turns you put on that, and voila. It looks like we're off there by, okay, something is wrong. So we have to find out where we, okay, I see it. All right. And that happens. So we have to make sure everything is centered. So we're gonna have to loose this again. And then I'm gonna bring this over. And this is a good thing with working with string. Again, we bring that over. Okay. And now we have our brakes for hammers that we're going to put on. We're going to tie this off. Okay, and we will be back shortly when we put the skin on.